It is a pleasant morning. Time is just 6:45 a.m. but tripper navigation shows 8 because the Bluetooth is not connected. How did I end up buying this Himalayan 411? So I had this obsession to get a bike for myself after seeing this Malayalam movie called Neelagasham Pachakadal Chorna Bhumi. But till the age of 23, I had never ridden a motorcycle with gears except for when I was taking the test for license. And even then, I did not know how to ride a motorcycle except to put the 8 because I never had a motorcycle at my house. Finally, I decided I'll get myself a motorcycle with gears. But Royal Enfield was never in my consideration because it was one of the heaviest bikes at that point of time and I was too thin. And I considered Activa itself to be too heavy for myself. The first choice I had in my mind was KTM Duke 200 since that was the first bike with gears that I rode on a busy road. And that met with my budget too. It was about 2,10,000. I went and told my dad that I'm going to get the KTM Duke 200, and then he asked me if I was crazy and started showing me this WhatsApp forwards where it showed like many accidents involving KTM and deaths involving KTMs. Finally, I convinced him. He was like, since it's your money, you can do whatever you want, but test ride all the bikes that's there in the market now. So one Sunday we decided that we'll go for all the test drives of the bikes that are there for 2 lakhs in the Indian market. And the first showroom that came in line was the KTM, but it was closed since it was a Sunday. And out of the blue, my dad suggested that we'll go to Royal Enfield showroom and test drive their bikes. But I did not want to go. Like I was least interested because those were like very heavy, and I did not want to make a joke out of myself by falling from one of the bikes. And so I decided I won't be riding the classic 350 since the tank looked very huge and it'll look like a hollow man riding the bike if I rode one. I thought I'll test drive the Himalayan since it looked very cool and aggressive, and it was tall too, so anybody who sits on the bike will be considered small. And then finally I got to test drive the Himalayan, and my god, I was mind blown by the bike. The cluster POV looks something like a fighter jet, and it had so much power. That was the point I decided that I'm going to get this bike. I don't know how I'm going to balance this forever in my life, but this will be the bike that I'll be getting. This was way above my budget, still I had it on the top. And then I did not stop my test drives over there. Like I did go test drive two other bikes, which was the Java Parak and Husqvarna. Parak, I did love the bike, the bobber style and all those things, but the cluster going in the reverse direction for the speedometer and the low seating, it did not work out for me. Like I did get a muscle pull the first time I sat on the bike, and since me being an amateur rider, I felt that I needed the gear position indicator to ride. So I dropped the plan of Parak, and the next one, Husqvarna. Husqvarna, I felt it was too raw and powerful, and I thought that this being the first bike in my life, I don't think I can handle this much power. Like it seemed like me going in full speed in a wheelchair. Yes, Himalayan was too powerful and aggressive too, but it could even cruise. Like it could, you can go slow, you can go like at 80 and cruise. At this point, Himalayan was the winner, and decided that I'll get the Himalayan. But it was way out of my budget, so I had to work for a few more months before I could get the bike. And yes, guys, this is how I got the bike finally. If you like the story and you want to hear more stories like this, hit the subscribe button. Thank you.